Hello everybody, it's Zeidoktor here, and this episode of Typical Manga Review is going to be dedicated to One Piece 859, The Emperor Assassination Plan. And yes, I know the translations say Yonko, but I strive to use the official English, so Emperor. And our cover this week is Usopp and Chopper using Brook as the goal for a ring toss game using snakes. And chapter proper starts out a big old spread. Shanti's explaining that he has no interest in actually assassinating Big Mom himself, but he is questioning the idea of, can someone like Big Mom die to the hands of likes of guns and cannons? I mean, what I've seen, she's like an iron balloon. She's not exactly easy to kill. And there's actually a point to this. Capone goes on like, you're right, we're talking assassination and we must bring her down quickly. Otherwise we'll just be surrounded waiting to be killed. No, that's Pedro. And Luffy's like, yeah, well, Emperor's pretty amazing, huh? Nami points out that they nearly got lost their lives just trying to get Brook while she was asleep. Which brings up the question of why the tea party, where all her ministers will be present, is the place of choice for an assassination. And that question's right to the point, so he gets into it. So under certain conditions, we'll be able to take Big Mom's head if we have at least 5 seconds. Of course, creating a 5-second opportunity inside will be the difficult part. Starting from the commanders, anyone, after all, because anybody, if you try anything, you'll be stopped instantly. And if that's how it goes, it'll be a war, and the chance of victory becomes 0. And so the plot begins with assuring the cooperation of Caesar. At which point, Caesar points out that he is not Caesar, he is Gastino. Even if you get it wrong, don't say my name in front of Big Mom. Or another translation's like, don't you dare call me Caesar in front of Big Mom, even by mistake. And apparently the deal here is that once Big Mom is beaten, Caesar's going to get his heart back and be set free. That's our arrangement. Don't forget it. Oh, I promise you, I will come for your son's life. At which point, Chiffon points out, like, how dare you even worry about that Gastini? Bates keeps his promises. Then Gastini just cracks Luffy up. And I was like, who cares what we call him? He's still garbage. But in any case, Caesar's actually pretty important. His job is, he's created a base to make gas bomb bazookas. One's more than enough. He's made 3. And he's pretty much having a little bit of an orgasm here. Like, he's just getting off on the eye. Like, each cartridge directly delivers 5 grams of toxic organophosphate poison directly into the body. An absolutely godless weapon of slaughter. Die, you fools! Now it makes sense. So we've got the weapons. So we've got weapons that we know kill her, so we just gotta make sure we hit her. But it's not quite that simple. Because, the actual bullets, the cartridges themselves won't be enough to pierce Big Mom's skin when she's hale and hearty. There aren't many weapons that can do that. So now they need at least 2 conditions that need to be met for their weapon to work properly. The KX launcher. One is ensuring that all prisoners are, for at least 5 seconds, unable to prevent the thing from being fired. And 2, that Mama is sufficiently weakened. Of course, everyone's like, that is awfully convenient. 2 awfully convenient conditions to have happen at once. Which he actually lampshades grabs. Like, those overly convenient conditions can only be met at the tea party. Of course, his big bombastic declaration sets his baby to crying, which is like, yeah, he suddenly turns sweet. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Daddy spoke too loud. I'm sorry. You know, I've said before that a baby is probably the one thing that anyone will make an idiot of themselves over. And Baze makes the point. He likes his little boy. Anyway. And Baze goes on to explain that it's been just nearly a year since they first joined Big Mom's crew, and she just does not get hurt. Even when she's wrecking the town, or she's sinking ships, or even when she eats direct cannon or gunfire, her tough-as-nails body simply doesn't suffer as much as a scratch. She really is an iron balloon, like you said. And in fact, Bates explained that there was only one time that he ever saw Big Mom's body suffer even the smallest injury, which Vito remembers as the Martyr Carmel photo incident. You see, at the tea parties, the seat right in front of Big Mom is always reserved for a special photograph. And that picture is very important to Big Mom. And it's a photo of Mother Caramel. It's considered Big Mom's one weakness. They don't know the specifics, like not even the children of Big Mom know the specific. But Mother Caramel is like Big Mom's lifesaver. Like they don't even know if she's alive or dead. And Chiffon apparently explained that she left a long time ago. Let's see here. Anyway, Chiffon takes up the story like once at the tea party, someone carelessly touched the Mother Caramel picture. And that moment, Mama's reaction was astounding. Her face grew blue and she cried out with a piercing, almost alien sound. Symptoms are quite similar to a violent fit. Those around her could do little more than try to cover their ears and protect their eardrums. Or could begin to collapse one after the other. And that's because, Baze explains, in addition to that strange voice of hers, she's liable to even activate her Conqueror's Hockey. All this because someone dropped a photo. When all this happened, Big Mom took to her knees with the shock, and doing so scraped her knees. She bled. Everyone was surprised that regular red blood ran in her veins. In any case, when she enters that state, her body loses its toughness. Now, what will happen, I wonder, if one of us splits that precious photo of hers right in two? Mama will be weakened, and we'll have at least 5 seconds to ourselves without interference from anyone else. And just then, the KX launcher will demonstrate its effects, and Big Mom will die. And news of her assassination will spread the world over, which just excites Beige. But Chopper has questions about that voice. What if we end up being unable to move? Don't worry, we've got the Invisible Symphonia system. Oh, earplugs. And Luffy's like, just splitting that photo in two is going to cause that big of a ruckus, then I'll just use that time to save Sanji and his family. But Beige's like, hold on, don't get all cocky. There's going to be a 3-second gap between when that photo breaks and when Big Mom's fit starts. Just managing to survive those 3 seconds where nothing will have happened yet and we're surrounded by enemies, that's going to be a miracle in and of itself. And we're going to have you play that part, Straw Hat. What makes Nami realize that Luffy's going to be the decoy. Like, even Chiffon's like, Nami either saved Lolo, you're basically sending them to their deaths. But Luffy's like, okay, I'll do it. Besides, I just thought up a super cool way to make my entrance. Like, Chopper's like, what is it? Tell me. Nope, not spoiling it just yet. Which leaves everybody else thinking like, well, so much for being all worried. And Baze double checks that he knows what the signal is. Like when Sanji and Pudding kiss, right? No, we are not going to kiss at all. We can't. So he's going to try and shoot me just when we're about to kiss. And I'm going to have to dodge it. So let the gunshot be the signal. Oh, okay, that's easy. Alright, makes things simple. As soon as Big Mom screams, the ball's in our court. You guys focus on your rescue. We'll focus on the assassination. At worst, you should be able to get it all done in 10 seconds. As all this stuff is going on, this idiot will show up. You mean genius? Who are you calling an idiot? Listen, as I, who can fly, make an appearance, I'll be holding the mirror we're going to use to escape. And this woman, of course. At which point, Brule is like, again, don't count me as part of your team. To be honest, I'm glad you all managed to bring Brule with you. There ain't many abilities in this world as useful as hers when it comes to escape. And she's a little thing of Chopper, like, I'm not happy to hear that at all, you bastard. He doesn't actually say it, but you got the little speech bubble showing his expression. Anyway, as soon as you all finish your respective jobs, quickly jump into Caesar's mirror. Those around you still be under the spell of Mama's voice. After that's left, we're all just inside. It's just all that's left after we're all inside is running away through Mirror World. You also prepare a mirror on your ship. Anyway, we'll all be able to escape as quickly as possible. You know, Big Brule thinks to herself that she's got to somehow warn Big Mom. And we're getting their declaration here, like, Baze declares, as soon as we reach our respective ships, the alliance is off. We hightail it out of Big Mom's territory, every man for himself. May war's fortunes be with you. Alright. And Jimmy's like, this is looking good. Johnny thinks himself that there are about 2.5 hours left, so he's got to back to his room, because after all, he's the groom. Baze has to go too, because they're going to be setting up, they got to at least look like they're setting up security. And Luffy's got a favor to ask. Hey, when I make my funny, for Baze, like, hey, when I make my funny entrance, quit focusing on it not be funny, you're going to get yourself killed. Elsewhere on the Toto Land Islands, there's a it's the day of a tea party. It's a national holiday. We're seeing this at Milk Island in Cheese Town on Milk Island. And the groom is they're talking about getting married, and the groom is apparently the third son of Jeremiah 66. Making some strong connections. Let's celebrate some beer and cheese. Yay! And I suddenly feel very nervous for the cheese homies right in between all of this mouse and this guy. He ain't long for this world. At the Peanut Town on Nuts Island, we and the family from the Roofeld conglomerate arrived in the harbor yesterday. And the guests this time were seem really high class. At the Chocolate Town and Cocoa Island, everybody's celebrating just a bit prematurely, but it's like it's okay, it's a happy day. And Jeremiah Kingdom, today is finally the day that Lord Sanji gets married. Apparently the escort regiment we sent wasn't able to get inside the castle, which means that we're not going to be able to attend, huh? Do they even need bodyguards at a wedding? It's a peaceful day. Oh boy. Oh, you clones. You're in for a surprise. In Whole Cake Chateau, the Vinsmokes are being awakened. Everybody's getting dressed, getting ready. They gotta get Yonji out of bed. Reiju's nowhere to be found now. Like she already finished, apparently she already finished getting ready in another room. And in Big Mom's bedroom, on the 9th floor, Big Mom is in a terrible state because now her cute little skeleton won't move anymore. Well, that's certainly a shame, but today's the day of the tea party and wedding cake! Ah, mama! And Big Mom's mood is immediately brought back to good normal. In fact, she just casually tosses Brooke aside. Morgana's Spears have just arrived at the port. The other guests are arriving at the castle one after the other, the chess peacekeeper says. And then at Pudding's room, it's like, hey Pudding, what's the matter? The rest is wonderful on you. Oh, I feel down. What's the matter? Marriage blues? I feel like I'm shouldering too heavy a burden, Nitro and Rabian. I can't bear the thought of blood staining this after I killed that Sanji idiot, and in order for me to return to life as a good girl, I'm going to have to override a bunch of people's memories and stuff. Honestly, with all these things, I can't help but think, what a bloody pain in the ass. And very soon the tea party begins, the tea party from hell. And that is where the chapter ends. So, we have had the plan to kill Big Mom explained in exacting detail, which guarantees it is going to fail miserably. Yeah, any work of fiction, whenever the plan is described, it will fail. There will be something that goes wrong at some critical step. And there are plenty of places for it to go wrong here, because as the characters themselves point out, the conditions they need are really convenient. And just putting aside the idea of that maybe the things won't work, like a couple of options I saw already were one, Peckhams. He's kind of a wild card in here. He could pop in at the bad moment and warn everyone something's wrong. Reiju might be doing something, because she's been kind of MIA for a couple chapters now. One idea I liked was was somewhere along the way the Tamate box going off and Luffy mistaking that for the signal to act. Or maybe something during the moment when Pudding tries to kill Sanji, maybe something happening there. There are plenty of different places for this to go wrong. Also, question for anybody listening. The moment you heard that Big Mom reacted badly to a photograph being damaged, how many Harry Potter fans out there immediately thought Horcrux? Because I certainly did. And I've seen a lot of people on a couple forums doing that. And it makes sense given the nature of her powers. Basically, she can't be damaged as long as this other thing is undamaged. So, definitely something to look at there. It also makes you wonder if damaging the photo by itself would be enough to defeat Big Mom. But I doubt it. That would be too convenient. And then we also have this whole thing about just who or what Mother Carmel is, and how she's somehow Big Mom's savior. That's definitely a possibility, something to look into. Immediate thought is, so I wonder if that has to do with whatever the caused problems with the giants. But we don't have enough to go on yet to do more than speculate on that point. So I'm not going to worry about that just for the moment. Some interesting stuff on here. There's I do like a little bit of Baze, just dropping his badass act to comfort his little baby. Seriously. That's such a silly thing to do. Also, there's also in the middle of the thing, I'm glad you got brought Roulette. Not many people can that'd be very useful to us. And Big Chopper's like, oh yay. And Luffy being more concerned with how to make a cool entrance or funny entrance than getting everything going. But he is at least taking it seriously. Like, okay, you got your part, we'll do mine. Boom. He seems to be treating his alliance very differently than his alliance with Law. Maybe because he actually doesn't like Baze very much, specifically. Because at the very least, Law saved his neck. Like, they had a history. This is his and Baze's first time actually meeting face to face. And I'm wondering if people will, if Luffy's going to be hiding inside Baze for his plan, or if he's got something else in mind. There's definitely some room to go in here, and I think I saw at least one possibility of forcing Brule to use her powers to make everybody look different. But that sounds risky if she has the ability to dispel it at will. And speaking of, Brule could also be a wild card here because she's struggling to figure out some way to warn Big Mom of what's happening. You know, and I am wondering once again, if Pudding's got her own gimmick going on here, because she seems to want to stay like reputable, keep her reputation as a good girl, but is that because she wants it, or does Big Mom want it, or is something else going on here? And the little line at the end, like, what a pain in the ass. It does make you wonder, just what does she have in mind? Something's up here. Can't even begin to suggest what it might be, though. I mean, at least just because we've had so many turns with Pudding already, like, guessing seems kind of pointless at this point. But I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and call the chapter here. I can't really think of anything that hasn't been brought up or I haven't seen somewhere else already. I mean, we're going to think here. But no, that's coming from this. This is an exposition chapter. Like, this definitely just like outlining what. Well, when you get right down to it, it's pretty much outlining what's not going to happen pretty soon. Because, like I said, the moment it's a TV tropes calls this sort of thing the unspoken plan guarantee. The less that is known about a plan, the better its odds of success. At least, the less known about a plan to the audience, I should say. The more the audience knows, the less chance that plan will succeed. So here we are. So, like I said, I'm going to call the review here. That has been One Piece, Chapter 859, The Emperor Assassination Plot. Until next week, have a good time, and bye-bye.